All right. What's going on, chat? Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to be tying some flies today. We're going to be doing a fishing stream later. Let me turn on my camera. Hold on, give me a sec. I need to go doing a little dog sitting today. I need to go let the dog out at some point. What's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. I got my Squimpish fly sweater on. All right, let me get some headphones set up. Hold on, give me one sec. Yeah, we're going to be fishing later. I was hoping to fish the sunset today, but it looks like it's going to start raining around 7. So incoming high tide's around 7. So what we'll do is we're going to stream till about 3:30 or something, or 3 around then. So we'll tie for about an hour and a half or 2. Then I got to go let the dog out for a little bit, feed her, let her out. Then I'll come home and I'll put my waders on and everything. We'll go fishing down here and see what we can do, because it's going to be incoming tide. It's about 60 degrees right now, so the sun hasn't been out. The water's going to be a little bit colder with the incoming tide, but I guess we'll see how it is. We'll give it a try, give it a shot. All right. Get some tunes going for myself here. Make sure, hold on, just give me one sec. I want to make sure I don't get copy striked here. That was a good thing I did that. All right. Hope everyone's having a good start to their weekend and whatnot. Okay. So we're tying... I got to tie 6 of these. Somebody asked after posting these big slammers yesterday. So 3 herring and 3 bunker is what we got to tie. So we're just going to kind of... We'll just tie these one at a time here. Normally I would probably do the tails, do all the lead keels, then do the white sections, and then do all the colors in one shot, but... Alright. Little mace. So we have, on the herrings, I'm going to tie these on the 4-rod Bob Clouser hooks here. These are pretty good hooks. This is what I've been fishing them on. They feel good, but I also got the big game hooks as well. This can be right around 8.5, 9 inches. But we got to do the keels to start it up, so. We'll go ahead and put a keel on here. Yeah, we did a little fishing yesterday. I got to get a parking permit for that spot, though. They changed the law, I guess, and changed the date. But we didn't end up getting anything, but met some cool dude. He ended up, I guess, having a fish and breaking one off or something, so. We're going to use this smaller 0.25 wire. We're going to cut some strips. And build a lead keel on the hook here. We're going to cut little lead strips like this out of this lead wire. This is not only going to help the fly swim better, but it's also going to help the fly cast a lot better as well. And honestly, we really don't need a crazy keel on here. This fly was casting really well even without one, but it just helps it swim better. Then we'll go with, we do 3, almost build like a little pyramid, if you will, but we're just going to go 2 layers high. And believe it or not, Mark goes pretty crazy with the wire sometimes, really builds a serious keel on the fly. All right. And you essentially want that to be right on the bottom. I think I'm going to do all the lead keels right now. Let's just bang these out real quick. It'll take 2 seconds. That way I won't forget whatsoever. I'm tying the herons on these 4-aught Clouser hooks. I might tie all of them, but I also have the beast fly hooks. They're 6 odds. They're both very good. For the bunker, we might tie them on the other one, but I think I might just do them all on this. Let's cut a bunch of strips of lead wire here. Well, they really don't give you a lot of lead wire on this hairline spool. It's kind of BS. So I'm cutting 5 strips here. This one's a little long. We'll trim this one. Again, trying to keep this lead wire right on, even on the bottom here. Yeah, we're going to be going for bass, and I don't think there's bluefish over here by my house, so we're just trying to see if we can get a bass. I'm telling you, man, fishing has sucked out here. I don't know what's going on. We're getting gypped right now. But we're going to go fish the incoming. It seems like, and most of the fish, there's not many stripers being caught, but they're being caught on incoming tides, it seems like, for whatever reason. With the flood. Normally you'd think it'd be outgoing because with the hotter water and stuff like that dumping out, but it seems like the incoming's been better. Okay. Probably just going to tie 2, so I wanted to just get the keels on the... Alright. We'll start tying our material on here. Using V-ties. Now we might just do a regular tie right off the back to get that length that we need. We'll tie a regular tail on first. Actually, we'll move this up a little bit. I want to be right around the hook point. No reason to be that far back. Yeah, so what's the length on this? We're trying to do right around 8 or 9 inches. Yeah, it's right about 8.5. Perfect. We're just tying small amounts of material, just V-tied up the shank, so. The main thing is we don't want to add too much material because then it becomes too hard to cast. We'll start with one V-tie on top here, and then we'll start moving up the hook shank. Should we just move up a little bit here? And do the same thing, V-tying. Pretty much tie it right in the middle. And again, we're just V-tying these as we go, top and bottom, to build that profile up. Which, if I get my brush, and then I want to try and, because this fly is for a customer, we're going to just do little bits of super glue along the way and pat it off just to make it more durable. Hey Gabe, how's it going? Nice looking bass, by the way. Thanks for sharing that. Not fly cop, but still a nice fish nonetheless. So pretty much just doing white for most of the body of the fly. And again, it's all about using small amounts. Yeah, no problem, dude. Hopefully I can get some fish soon. I haven't been able to catch a bass for a little bit now. We're going to go later, give it a try. So again, we're just V-tying here. To build up our profile, might add a little bit more here on top and just make sure it's longer on that one side. Finally starting to come here to Jersey. That was my first of the season. Nice. Yeah, dude, I don't know. The fishing's been wild. I don't know if this is just like a climate change thing or a global stock thing, but the fishing's been much, it's like delayed. I'm hoping they show up at some point, because right now it's the only thing happening is big bluefish, and that's been kind of finicky as is for us as well. So again, we're adding small amounts and just V-tying it. Very simple fly to tie, but beautiful looking. So again, at some point here, I'm going to make the bottom collars shorter. I mean, they're already a little bit shorter than the top ones, but the top ones are pretty much just going to stay the same length as we go up, making them as long as we can, and the bottom will be somewhat tapered, and it gives us a nice tapered look naturally without having to trim anything. I'm not a fan of trimming these when I'm done. You want to just tie it in so that you don't have to trim anything. So again, you can see we're keeping it nice and transparent. Yeah, the bunker not around thick yet. I'm going to tell you right now, it's been terrible. Thank God I'm not commercial fishing full time anymore, because the bunker just didn't show up at all this year. And I think that's going to be a big factor on whether or not we're able to catch big striped bass inshore throwing flies like this. This is the whole reason I'm tying these for myself in the first place, but I don't know if we're going to be able to find big fish inshore if there's a lack of big bait. There is bunker, but like I've had bunker around for a bit now, but not like the size schools that we're looking for that attract big striped bass inshore, you know, into shallows. So I don't know, we'll see, I guess. This is where I can add like a little bit of color, a little bit of chartreuse or something to the top. Maybe a little bit of pink. But you see, it really doesn't take a lot of this Steve Farrar fiber to tie one of these, especially because we're tying them sparsely. So it's all about how we tie the material in, essentially. Oh yeah. Starting to look good. Hey Anonymous, how you doing? Hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in. Just take a little bit of super glue, do a little dab on the thread ball before we move on. And you can see that bump of thread where we folded it back. It's kind of hard to see. I'll zoom in a little. You can see the thread bump is going to help push that material as well, give us like that little rise that we need. There we go. Again, I'm not adding much, just a little bit at a time. Teeny little bit at a time. What rod do I was throwing these with a 9-weight. So a 9-weight or a 10-weight, but minimum 9-weight, I'd say. Mark Sedotti can when he ties them and ties them perfectly, he can throw these on a 5-weight. But I was fishing this on a 9-weight. And it's totally fishable with a heavy enough line, stiff enough rod, and a proper leader setup, you know, obviously. That being said, if you throw something like this on a 9-weight all day and you don't have like wind at your back or something, you might end up getting kind of tired after a while. So You might want to use something like a 10 weight if you're throwing jumbo flies all day, you know? I think on the next one I'm just going to start the ties a little bit far forward because I probably could do 1 or 2 less white ties and get the same profile. Just cut down the ties here for the next couple. But that's where adding that lead keel, not too much, but like you gotta, you know, Gabe, you're gonna have to play around and get, you have to have the right amount of material to build up the profile, but not too much to make it uncastable. And you need to tie the keel in a way that helps, but you don't add too much lead to where it becomes a pain to cast. But as you see, you know, the whole idea is that we're tying very small amounts at a time, so it builds up. But in reality, it's not really a ton of material. I throw flies like this on an 8 weight and that does not work for me. Yeah. So you could scale these down to like a 4-aught or a 3-aught and tie them about 5-6 inches. And you should be able to throw something like that on an 8 weight. But yeah, something if you have an 8 weight, is that your main rod? Is that your only fly rod? You should probably get a 10 weight for the surf because you're in Jersey. If you have access to the surf, I think you should get a 10 weight as your second rod. Intermediate line, and then fish that on the Jersey shore for, like, you know, fall time fishing. Yeah, if that's your only rod, I think so. The way I started with a 9 weight, and a 9 weight can get you through most of your fishing here in the Northeast in the springtime and the fall. It's a little heavy at times, and it's a little light at times, like a little heavy in the spring for small bass. It's a little light in the fall for big albies or stripers in the rips, but you could totally do it. But having a 10 weight, for instance, for fall time fishing around the rocks, around the surf, or for throwing big flies, because I'm going to tell you right now, hooking a 30-pound bass on an 8 weight you can do it, totally, but I would much rather have a 10 weight rod if I was throwing big flies for larger fish. Not only for you, but also for the fish, because you're going to end up fighting that fish for quite a while, and it's going to end up getting fatigued, and that's the last thing we want, fishing for big striped bass that we legally can't keep, and we don't want to keep because we want them to go back strong. So having an appropriate sized rod definitely helps, not only to save yourself from getting beat up the entire time from casting giant flies and giving yourself tennis elbow or something with an 8 weight, but for landing the fish. But so I think getting a 10 weight, that way you got a heavy rod and you have a lighter rod for bass. You're good. Yeah, I mean, you can. People have caught monsters on 5 weights and 6 weights and 7 weights, and you could do it without breaking your rod. But a lot of times you're doing it in a way that the fish will be half near dead by the time you get it in. You know what I mean? But yeah. All right, so we're going to start adding our turquoise and like blue colors here, because this is going to be could be a herring or a bunker. I think the current color we're going with is more bunker. I got to tie 3 of each anyway, so screw it. Let's go back. Let's keep going with the bunker. Yeah, when we go fishing later, I'm going to fish one of these flies on a 9 weight just to show you on Twitch, but I'll do a video of me like casting a fly like this when I make the video for it, and use like see if we can cast them on an 8 weight or something. This is where I'm going to start tapering the length down on that bottom hair. You can see I'm mixing like 3 or 4 different colors a lot of times with this top hair to get a nice blend. I have tan, olive, and I have like this turquoise sort of color that I'm blending the 3 together. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a sec with a zoom up. You can see how the colors mix and it looks so much more natural. What do you think about TFO 10 weights? Great. I always recommend a TFO Lefty Cray Signature Series 2. It's like $130. It's pretty much the only rods that I use other than custom ones that I've had built for me from like Wolfram Custom Rods, Amazing Rod Builders. But they're cheap, and if they break, you can get them fixed pretty quick. And they work great. All the rods you've seen me fish with are TFOs. TFO Lefty Cray Signature 2s. They're like $130 in a 10 weight or something like that. And it's perfect. So I always recommend them. Not to mention, you break them, you'll get a replacement in like a week or 2 or a month. Like no more than a month most of the times. TFO is really good with this, sending out and their customer service stuff. So I highly recommend TFO rods for beginners or not. I mean, I've been fly fishing for 20 years. The thing is, I fish in a lot of really rough conditions, like in jetties and in rocks with kayaks, giant bluefish, and fishing with like an $800 Thomas and Thomas rod. I just don't want to spend that much money on a fly rod. I don't even think it's worth the upgrade. I mean, that much money. But the other thing is, I'm pretty tough on my stuff, like fishing Albies from the rocks. You know, and a giant waves comes as you're like climbing down the inlet wall to land an Alby, and the giant wave comes. Sometimes you just gotta like chuck your rod up on the rocks. You know what I mean? So no thin aluminum reels with all those. I like reels that are like thick milled reels, kind of like the older, like, you know, large arbor, but not like fully machined. You know, for ultra lightweight stuff, because they just bend. I like cheap rods in case I break them. And there's just the times where you're like frustrated with a small bluefish and you end up high sticking it and break your rod. Yeah, Jungle Cock Jeffy style with the TNTs, yep. And guess what? You know how many rods, he breaks every single one he ever gets. High sticking on bluefish by accident or something. I've been using the same TFOs for 2-3 years. One of them's missing a guide. I'm just fishing. I have no care. But hope you're doing well, Doc. Hope you're doing good, brother. Yeah, we got a big bunker fly here. Yeah, so I got some different colors. I actually got this bucktail white color, and then I got this off-white, and I believe I got a minnow belly. So maybe let's try some of this minnow belly with some like silver. Yeah, I'll show you. I just picked up a bunch of different colors of the Farrar blend. And we just take a little bit out, boop, beep, boop, boop, V-tie it. Yeah, we're going to probably just fish down here at the point. LI Flies my point. Taking a break here, tying up a bunch of sand eel teasers for the shop. Oh, nice, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Very nice. See, I could cut it, but I honestly just like ripping it to taper it down a lot of times, like a Neanderthal. It works pretty good. We got those colors, and now we're going to start mixing a little bit more of this olive. Some of this turquoise. tiny bit of this blue. We'll take some of the black, small amount, that'll be for the next collar, and then I have this like darker gray. So I'm mixing like 5 different colors of Steve Farrar blend, and half of them already have like 5 different colors, so it just ends up being a nice rainbow assortment of darker greens and blues and grays. So we end up with a really nice looking mix right here. Yeah, Gabe, it's tough. The fly reels and the lines, believe me, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I always recommend if you only have one, go with a 9 weight, because then you're going to be pretty much covered for most things. But you can always, you know, over time, add to your collection, right? So, but yeah, believe me, and it's cheaper than it was when I was growing up. There were no cheap alternative fly rods and reels. Everything was like Orvis, G. Loomis, crazy expensive. The only cheap stuff was like at Walmart, and it was these like junk fly rod kits that literally didn't work. Like the lines were junk, the rods were spaghetti. You couldn't fish with them, especially in saltwater. That's what I fished with for like 3 years or 2 years before I got an actual saltwater fly rod set up. So you're lucky you have the options you do, because when I was a kid growing up, there was not many cheap fly fishing options. All right, we got some nice looking colors. Oh, dude. Ooh. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Some good stuff. Oh, ice cream man, you hear him? All right, we're looking good. We're about to finish this thing right here. Do 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 do. Can you imagine if that was like copyrighted and the damn it, they got me. Copy striked. I'll probably do like 1 or 2 less collars on the next one, white ones. Cut it down just skosh. I think I am just going to add a little bit of white on the sides here too. Just all right, we're looking good because we're going to be putting eyes on there, so we want to leave some of that exposed for the eyes to get on. Looking good. Whip finish this. Mm-hmm. The old ice cream man. Little red man. Let's put some eyes on here, shall we? Let's get some eyes on here. Looking good. Let's give it a quick brush. I might need to like keep this one for myself. I like this. I think I might have did 1 or too many collars on it, but it's also kind of an excuse just to keep it for myself. That was a little much. I'm gonna reuse some of that right here. It's the only downside about using this glue is so sticky, man. It gets all over my hands. Crap off my hands. I'm going to press these eyes in so they kind of sink in and that glue adheres to the thread but also the synthetic material. But we end up with a nice looking Sedotti Slammer synthetic. Make sure these eyes are level and whatnot. And then we get a nice looking, there you go. There's our finished bunker flag. We got to zoom out. This thing's huge. I always forget. synthetic slammer. The profile we're working with here. 99 is just an ice cream cone top with a Cadbury flake, just in case you're wondering. I was wondering. I figured it was an Irish ice cream pop or something like that, so I wasn't going to ask, but now I know, so thank you. I should have asked, because that's the sort of information that I love. So thank you, Doc. Appreciate that. I was wondering, but I figured it was just some sort of, like, you know, cheaper ice cream thing you could get or something, or maybe like a popular one. All right, Gabe, sounds good. Thanks for tuning in. Let's add a dot to this. No, this came out good. This is a good one. You got to tie 3 more of these bunkers. Maybe we do a herring one next, though. Honestly, that wasn't bad. That took us like probably 30-40 minutes to tie. So that ain't bad. Throw a dot in there for the old bunker. And there we go. Here's our large synthetic Sedotti slammer. You can just kind of see pretty large fly, but we are representing gigantic bait fish, so that can grow up to 13 inches. It's apparently called this because the majority of ice cream merchants in the 50s were Italian, and the King of Italy had an elite bodyguard consisting of 99 men. So anything elite was called 99s by the Italians. Ah, okay. They called the elite ice cream a 99. Ah, okay, very cool. It had a Cadbury flake on top. That's crazy. There you go. In case anyone's wondering on the history behind the 99 ice cream cone. Very cool. Thank you, Doc. I love that. Little tidbits like that. And me as an American eats up all that Irish history and Irish info because it's just so cool to me. All right. Very nice. We're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to stretch. I got to stretch after one of these big bunker flies every time. So stretch, chat. We're going to take a quick stretch break. I'm going to throw another coffee on the coffee machine. So just give me 2 minutes. We're going to play our Alby highlight. And we'll be back in just uno momento, por favor. All right. So we're going to tie a herring next. So appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be doing some fishing later, but we're going to still be fly tying for a little bit. So don't go nowhere. All right. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Stay tight, all right? Yeah, keep it tight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Aiden. Knuckle buster. Are you good? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I might need a ride. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna turn now.
I'm gonna try and get on the bow.
Yeah, get on the bow. All right, you're doing good. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna move us away.
Is that a little one?
No, that's a nice one.
Oh, let's go!
Come here, hold next to Alby. Good job.
That's sick.
All right. Nice.
Let's go! Woo! Alby slap!
Good job, kid.
Yee!
Looking down the barrel of a 12 gauge little toonie, bro. On the Alby door too.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Woohoo! Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god!
Gotta turn the boat so I can cast. Oh my god, dude! All right, we're back. A little coffee. All right, we're gonna tie another one of these. All right. We're gonna go herring this time. Little herring. All right. Let's see. Where are our white colors here? In case we need more, but we're looking good. I am going to pop open. This is the off white. No, the bucktail white we're going to pop open. Save that for the belly. Okay. So this is a herring. This is a slightly smaller profile, but it's going to be pretty similar. Ian's blends. So Ian's blends are supposedly like a yak or a synthetic yak or something like that. And the slinky fiber is supposed to, or the Steve Farrar fiber is supposed to be a mix between something like slinky fiber, but blended with angel hair. So Ian definitely is slightly different material, if I'm not wrong. More akin to like a yak hair, if you will, or something. So that's the main difference. But I was talking to somebody, and there's a thing called what is it called? It's a material they use for hair extensions, and it's pretty much like the same thing, but it's much cheaper. So I'm gonna have to try it out, and I'll share it. I forgot, but it's literally a hair extension material, Crinkle-On or something like that. Which Jay on YouTube was recommended to me. So we're going to have to try it out. There's like this woman who sells hair extension stuff on Instagram. He linked for me. Yeah, Crinkle-On. There you go. He was recommending I should just use something like that. And it's probably pretty close to what Ian uses, but I think Ian might, I don't know if he's using like a synthetic yak or he's using something like that. I don't know. I just got this because it's easy to get from the local shop, you know, but we might end up trying out the Crinkle-On and blending our flash and just using it, or, you know, making our own blends essentially. So shout out to Jay. Hit me up on Instagram and YouTube. Let me know about that. If you watch this, Jay. So now we're just going to move up. Boom, 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 boom. Tying our collars. Mixing some of these whites together to get some nice different colors going on. So you've used Crinkle-On or whatever, Doc? How have you find it? Have you used Steve Farrar fiber before, or any of the fishing fiber like Slinky fiber? How do you compare the two in the feeling, if you have? It looks like it's a little bit stiffer or kinkier. It's got more of a kink to the material than the Steve Farrar fiber, from what I can tell. Just from looking at it, but it's finding the right stuff. I have a link for a website in the UK, pretty cheap too. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming we could probably get it in bulk, honestly, if we really wanted to. I'm assuming this is how this woman's getting it for her hair stuff. Might need to look into something like that. Getting material from China direct and selling it. Make our own blends or something. Honestly, these flies aren't that bad to tie. They once you get the hang of it, they honestly don't take that long to tie. And I'm charging $25 a piece, but mind you, it's taken me 20-something years to get to this stage. Does add up though, so that's why I was liking Jay's idea of maybe this Kankalon might be a cheaper option, because the Steve Farrar fiber is a little pricey. You know what I mean? For sure. It certainly is a little pricey. So that's the one downside to this stuff. God, these flies are so nice to tie. They're just so simple. I use a lot for pike flies and haven't gotten any complaints. It's definitely not like Steve Farrar fiber. It's a bit stiffer, as you said. Yeah, somewhere in between the Steve Farrar fiber and the Slinky. But there's a few different kind of Kankalon, so it's just finding the right stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, from what I could see, it looks like it's a little stiffer for sure. But that's not necessarily the worst thing. You might just use a little bit less or something. Or, I don't know, you'd have to just adjust your tying. I'm like mixing 3 different colors here with each tie. Again, I'm not trying to tie too much, so I'm trying to catch myself. It's always a battle between tying too much and not enough. It really is. Even for me, so don't worry. I'm just splitting these and tying them. Favoring a little bit more on the top than the bottom. And tapering the bottom less than the top for length. Oh, you know what? This is where I think I'm going to add a little bit of chartreuse. Just to get some... It's nice to get some color in there, you know what I mean? Oh my god, dude, these BetterHelp ads. Do they really think I must be in some sort of distress? All I'm getting are these BetterHelp ads. And this woman's just talking about shoes, like an analogy about shoes and therapy. If you need to wear shoes, you need to wear the shoes. Like, what? Shut up. Let me tie my flies. There's like mumbling nonsense about shoes. All right. Pinks, chartreuses, and blues with some white. Then we'll add the blues next. A little bit of pink and chartreuse here. And if you looked at it from the top, it's pretty much just all of the body that we're building up is top and bottom to help represent these bunkers and herring. The herring definitely doesn't need as much of an exaggerated top and bottom because they're actually slimmer profiles, but these are big fly fish. Yeah, the goal is this year to catch a decent fish on one of these larger flies. We caught a really nice fish a couple years ago at Montauk, but that was on a little Alby fly. I want to catch one on a big fly. Would you post some of the material or a fly you tie with it, Doc? I'll take a look here in a little bit. Okay, now we're going to start adding our little turquoise sort of colors here. Some of the chartreuse as well. For the herrings, I like having this kind of fluorescent chartreuse. It's looking good. Taper that a little bit more if I need. Gonna make sure these are tied to the same point. All right, let's build this up here. We got a little bit of a, there we go. A little slippery thread situation going on here. There we go. Again, for these herring profile, we're going a little bit more tapered. Sent you that link there, Mike. They have like 8 different kinds to choose from. Oh, okay, very cool. Thank you, dude. Now we're going to add some blues to the turquoise, along with some grays. All right. We're going to try and cover up these sides slightly on this collar, on the belly. Take a little bit of this off and save that for the next one because we don't need that much. There we go. Looking good. Now we'll do a little bit more. They do angel hair too, by 10 grams. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's funny when you say fly time material by grams. I have no idea like what I'm trying to imagine. It's actually probably a decent amount. I'm thinking. It's probably a decent amount. Some of this longer hair, I'm gonna. Cut it, taper it. Little Cal Scrubby. Sheesh. Might need to see him at some point live. We're going blue, black. With some of this color mixed in. Some of this like turquoise and gray mixed in there. All right, looking good. honestly not bad. It's not taking us too long to tie these, but it does take a fair amount of time. It's got a good length too. Oh, okay, that's nice because a lot of angel hair is pretty short, which I'm sure you know. I'll hit it with head cement too, but I always do super glue first just to make it that much more durable. Let's go ahead and put some eyes on here. At some point here, I would like to tie some beast flies for myself. I got a little sidetracked with these slammers. I posted them and then a bunch of people ordered them. as what happens, as it happens. I've used the Murano roving wool for head-on flies, and you can. They also sell that on that site as well. Same as most dubbing brands. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Nice. Like the Senos laser dubbing sort of stuff for the heads. Oh, dude, this song is a banger. Cal Scrubby, Captain America. This is like a summertime song. I love it. So good. Looking good, looking good. A couple of this. Get that smaller stuff out of there. Simple herring, and you can see with the herring we make them just slightly slimmer profiles because the herring naturally aren't as tall top and bottom as a bunker. It doesn't really matter, honestly. You could throw all chartreuse ones of these, I bet you, but we're obviously like trying to make them look realistic. But the herring is a little bit slimmer compared to the bunker in terms of profile, because that's the appropriate size and width and whatnot. Bunker are always going to be taller top and bottom. Yeah, these, oh, dude, I love these flies. They're so good. Yeah. Awesome flies, dude. So good. By the way, this is the sort of fly you want to catch like giant bluefin tuna. This is it right here. These sort of flies too. Oh, somebody was hitting me up too. I gotta see. I think they want I think somebody wants flies for Baja. They're going for roosterfish. And they were hitting me up, so we might be tying some roosterfish flies here soon. Hey, Southern Fly Guy, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Oh, is that a redfish in your profile? I hope it is. It looks like it, which I love. Looks like a bull red almost. Or a little shy of bull, but... How you doing? I hope you're doing well. They seem pretty easy to whip up. You can tie a dozen in no time. Yeah, it takes about 30-40 minutes. Oh, it's a 9-pound brown trout. Oh, nice. I couldn't see from here. That's crazy. It's a 9-pound brown trout. It looks like a redfish. It's so big. It looks like a redfish or something. Because I just see this little photo from my chat thing. Very cool. That's a big trout. Holy. Let's throw some dots in here. Let's take a look at Atlantic herring real quick. You can see this is what our Atlantic herring look like. So they have a teeny little dot right behind the gill plate, very similar to how bunker do. But you can see this profile is a little bit more slimmer as opposed to the bunker, because the bunker have a larger profile top and bottom. You can see here. They're not as slim, the profile, so. Let's put a dot right around where the gill plate would be. And all I'm doing is just taking a Sharpie and hitting that like that on either side. And there we go. There's our Atlantic herring imitation for big striped bass. Has anyone told you what the dots are all about? I mean, if you look right here, yesterday we were literally looking up menhaden dot term, or dot meaning, or I'm trying to figure out the right word to figure out why they have that. Oh, you think it's the fake eye Cragger roll? It very well could be. It very well could be. I'm curious. Do you think it's the fake eye? It very well could be a predatory thing where they have like an eye, but I don't know. It could just be a camouflage thing. I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't know how to search how to figure this out. Yeah, they have spots, but it's probably something when they're in school. It's harder for fish to tell where the fish starts and ends. I think you're right. That's probably the most common reasoning. I think it's to help break up the pattern, because if you've ever seen what menhaden do. This is what they do. In fact, let's go over to... Let's check out South Fork Salt, dude. You want to see how they school up as a defensive mechanism when they're getting attacked. This is my buddy Tim. You should check him out. South Fork Salt on Instagram and YouTube. But you can see that's a pot of bunker. Could be 10, 20, 30, 40,000 pounds. where the bait, and you have bluefin tuna here right off the beach that are circling the school, as well as like spinner sharks and stuff. So they ball up in these giant balls. So it's probably something to do with the fake eye. I'm almost certain. You're probably right. I was just curious. I thought maybe it was something else. And then you got a humpback whale coming in. Look at this. This is right off the beach over here, man. Tim gets some amazing footage. South Fork Salt. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't. He's got some amazing footage. That's literally in about 20 to 30 foot of water right off our beaches here in the Hamptons. So very cool. That's probably what it is. It's probably schooling, and it's probably to help break up the pattern. Because all natural predators, if you know anything about shark behavior as well, like you'll almost never get attacked by a shark from the front. They'll always come up and approach you from behind, just because I don't know whether they can tell whether a human being is facing one way or another, but I think it's just a natural predatory instinct. They can tell when an animal is facing away from them. So I think that's probably what it is, and that's where you get things like, you know, fish having spots, or like birds having spots on their backs, or cats having spots on their backs for that fake eyes, so another predator sneaks up behind them. I'm sure that's probably most likely what it is in terms of evolutionary, you know, the evolving of these fish to not get killed by everything, even though they already are on the short end of the stick when it comes to everything. These poor bunker. All right, let's see. We could tie some more slammers, but I'm honestly tempted to try and tie a nice hollow fly for myself, like a beast fly. So I think what we're going to do is try and tie a beast fly right now with some bucktail. I have a piece of mono here to tie on, and I'm assuming we could use one of these 6-odd beast fly hooks, more than likely. I could probably also use one of these Clouser hooks as well, because these are pretty good. Where's the beast fly hooks? Right here. These are like specifically made for beast flies. It's quite a large hook. I don't know if I want to be throwing this. It's going to sink pretty fast. We'll see. I guess we should tie one on the proper beast fly hook and try it out. This is the whole point. But we're going to start with our mono thread, and this is going to be tied off the back of the hook. It's going to have feathers, then bucktail, hollow tied, and then hollow ties on this. So this is going to probably take us a little while, but I do need to let my boss's dog out and feed her and stuff like that. So I was probably going to go around 3, but I might push it off a little bit to like, we'll go in like an hour or something. So I'm going to try and tie this fly within an hour and not take too long. Actually, real quick, I want to put a tag end on the end of this mono, so that way the bucktail the thread doesn't slip off. By doing this when we tie on it, less of a probability of the thread slipping off there like that. And then what we'll do is we could probably start on the vise. We're going to tie some feathers on here. Now, most of this I'm going to be doing with my hands. I'm going to be holding this in my hands. But have you used partridge hooks? Yes. The Partridge Predator X's are fantastic hooks. I actually really like them. And I was dealing with the people from Partridge because someone put me in touch with Partridge USA. I think it was the fly shop upstate near Roscoe. What's the name of that place, dude? Deet Flies. Because I went and did a fly show in Syracuse for them. And they put me in touch with the Partridge people, and I was like getting flies directly from their Northeast division, or hooks. And the Partridge Predator X hooks are fantastic. I absolutely love those. That's what I was tying most of my squimpish hollows and all these big hollow flies and stuff that, 3-4 years ago or something like that was all on the Partridge Predator X's or the Gamakatsu big games as well. But I really love the Partridge Predator X hooks, in my opinion. They're fantastic hooks, like really nice hooks. I think what we're going to do is probably just tie, I'm thinking ostrich hurl off the back of this thing instead of feathers. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. That's probably what we're going to do here. I don't know if we're going to be using all of this mono, but we're going to be using some of it for sure. So what I'm going to do here is kind of spread that around, that bucktail on here. You'll see once I get away from the from where I have the mono attached, I'm just going to hold the... Here, I'll show you. We're going to do this essentially. Except I need to make this tighter. Do it all by hand like this because it's just... Personally, I find it's tough tying beast flies on the vise like this. So I just do it in my hands. This is how me and my buddy Tyler figured it out. Like that. Honestly, the easiest way I found to tie beast flies. And if you need to, you can always put that tag end in the vise just to put it down or something. I like tying on tubes for beast flies, but how does that work? The entire fly is a tube fly, you mean? Not just the beast extension? You're tying the entire beast fly on a tube? I mean, that makes sense. Then you can get it as big as you want, technically. The only problem is with the with stuff like that for striped bass is I hate using tube flies for striped bass because they end up swallowing them and stuff. So I'm not necessarily a fan of tube flies because the hook's so far back for striped bass in particular. I guess if we use circle hooks, that'd be one thing. But by the way, I just wanted to show you. Timmy's sitting there with that striped bass. That's with the beast fly, and guess what? Who took that photo? I took that photo right there of him holding that striper. I totally forgot about that till I looked over. That was when we went fishing over at Road Feta. And he caught a fucking keeper fluke on that beast fly before I even showed up, which was crazy. He was like, hey, look in the back of my truck. And it was a giant keeper fluke on the beast fly. It was nuts. What the hell's going on with my thread, dude? It got wrapped inside of the... What is going on? Oh, fuck. Alright. It's all coming apart. My thread got wrapped inside of my bobbin. I gotta fix it. I don't know what's going on here. This ain't right. What the hell happened? Gunner has a video on it, gotcha. Something happened, look at this. How this happened, I don't know, but it got completely wrapped on the inside. That was annoying. Damn it, Jerry. I thought we talked about it. That's alright. I never put another cup of coffee on, by the way, so I gotta go do that. Let's get that bucktail retied on here real quick. Damn, I really made that bodkin tight for the spinning. If you don't, it's gonna fly and whack you right in the face, so you kind of have to make the bodkin pretty tight. Alright, alright. Redo. Cut, redo. Yeah, this is going to be quite a large fly. As you can see by me tying giant ostrich hurdle off the back of the mono extension for the beast fly, so. When in Rome, right? When in Rome, tie giant beast flies. Fly Shop Shack has a $6 tube adapter tool. Okay, and with the Dremel tool works the same as the HMH. Ah, okay, I might need to check it out because I lost my HMH tube fly accessory. So we haven't been able to tie tube flies since. Gotcha, okay. I might need to check that out then. Go with that. All right. We pretty much have ostrich herl tied all the way around top and bottom on this tail piece, which is nice, which is how we want it. God, this gets so annoying. This is why you have to do it in your hands. You really do. No other way. I guess maybe technically, see, I've seen people do it where there's like two vices together. I could never do that like that. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, make another cup of coffee. Give me 1 sec. We'll be back in just a moment. I'll play the away video. Take 2 seconds. And we'll hopefully try and crank out a beast fly real quick. I honestly might do something like almost all chartreuse. Or we might just, because I don't have a ton of white, so we'll see. I have a couple different colors, but I think I might just kind of tie a giant chartreuse one or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, all right? All right. Right on time. I left my coffee, but I got another drink. All right. Let's get it. Good hip hop and some beast flies, huh? Now, one thing I am going to do is a little bit of super glue at the end of each tie. Do we do white? Do one or two wraps. Cut a little bit more. Unfortunately, I don't have really, really long bucktail in white. It's not even the best tail, but it'll work. Hey, Reb, what's going on, dude? How you doing? All right, where's my little pusher tool? The pusher man. All right, I think we're gonna have to move to our hands. You gotta tighten this up. Tighten it up some more. Now, if you guys want to see the master at tying these flies, I recommend checking out Andrew Warsaw on Instagram. He's like the greatest bucktail beast fly master tyer next to Bob Popovics, in my opinion. People like Ben Wally, Gunner. But Andrew ties some amazing flies. So we're just going to build a thread dam in front. But we're not going to make it too large. We want it to still have some... We still want it to be opened up, because then we're going to run it underwater. Get at least like one whip finish in there. This is why I don't tie these for money, by the way. They just take... I cannot tie these efficiently like Andrew does or something. I think even him, he takes, it takes a while to tie these. Sorry about that. Slap the mic. All right. So... little super glue on there. The only problem is you kind of have to cut another one, so I just put it down, I guess. You technically don't even need a vise to tie one of these, I guess. If you could tie it all with your fingers. Just gonna actually move this vise out of the way for the moment. A couple wraps on that. Try and do this one-handed while holding that like that. I'm just going to put it down, screw that. Make sure we tie this even top and bottom. Where's my little tool at? Don't even really need to use this, but yeah, I'd say honestly, these are one of, if you can master tying a beast fly, if you tie badass beast flies, I think you can do just about anything. And I'm still not at that level, I don't think, of where I'm like Andrew or Ben Wally or somebody, but man, these are some of the toughest flies to tie perfectly, in my opinion. You can tie them to where they're not pretty and they work so well, but to tie them like to where they're magazine quality beast flies, you know what I mean? It's a skill for sure. By the way, doing this is very dangerous, so make sure your thread bobbin's tight enough so you don't whack yourself in the face. I've done it before. I have done it, if you're wondering. Yes, I have smacked myself in the face doing this. I almost want to put autofocus on for this, but let's see what we're working with. Let's put this down, cut some more bucktail, get it ready. Great thing about this, you get a massive fly with a very small amount of material. It's all natural, so it breathes. That's why beast flies are honestly some of the best big flies. Even though I love Sedotti slammers and things like that, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to be, this is kind of like the true evolution of modern day saltwater fly tying, while still retaining old school techniques, natural material. And by wrapping that thread so tight at times too, I could put it down and it's not gonna come undone, so. Now we just wrap in front, build our thread dam, and just rinse and repeat really with this fly. This one I'm tying for myself, for sure. You could see why though, right? If somebody was tying these for an order, I'd be like charging 35, 40 bucks a piece. Sounds like a plan. You can see what we're working with now. We pretty much have like a hollow fly on our hands here, but oh, you know what you gotta do? We gotta, I think I forgot on the last one, every wrap with hollow flies, I like to put super glue on there. Just in case that what you'll find is the thread slips at times. So that thread dam gets pushed forward from the bucktail naturally, wanting when it gets wet to come out, you know, or open back up once it gets wet. Damn it. Super glue bottle down. Luckily it's not that it's pretty viscous. Oh, no. We don't want to wrap on top of the bucktail. That was an oopsie. We're good though. There it is. We'll just do a couple more collars. I mean, we could go literally the whole way, right? But the fly's already quite large. We'll see. Honestly, this is the sort of fly that I could tie over multiple sessions. You could like put this down and come back a couple hours later and keep tying it. This thing's massive. Could also space them out a little bit. Get a little bit more for the bottom here. I'm not really adding much, as you see. The whole idea behind beast fly is less is more. When you first start tying, you always end up putting way too much material on there, especially with hollow flies in general. I remember when the article first came out in Saltwater Fly Fishing magazine years ago, Popovich came out with a hollow fly before his second book came out. That was years later. And I was trying to figure out how to tie these things from reading that article, and they just way too much bucktail. And not good bucktail either, so they were like super poofy, wouldn't even sink flies. But following that sort of Kenny Abrams logic, less is more with these flies. Dude, I've dropped that thing every time I've used it. That's TD Bank thing. Every time I use it, it falls to the ground. Every collar I've tied. That's hilarious. Trying to wrap in front and pull this back. So you essentially just use your knuckles or your fingers to help guide the thread so you don't wrap on top. And your fingernails. Can always do it by hand if I'm trying to be more precise. Hey, thank you, Anthony Jones. Appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I hope you're having a nice weekend. Yeah, I got to work on some more YouTube videos. It's been like almost 2 weeks, but we've been doing a lot of IRL fishing. Fishing streams on Twitch. And we've been doing a lot of commercial fly tying. So we've been doing some streams. But thank you, appreciate that. I got to work on some new videos. We have some circle hook bluefish poppers, which I need to film. Try and help people reduce deep hooking bluefish. We have articulated cinderworm gurglers I need to record because we just had an amazing cinderworm bite. Had some striped bass up to like 31, 32 inches on teeny little cinderworm gurglers. They're like little game changer cinderworms. Really cool. So I got to film some more stuff here soon. I've just been doing a lot of fishing and fly tying. So it's not the worst thing. I'm going to have to go on a little bit of a tirade recording and filming and editing here soon. Been watching for 2 months now. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. It's very kind. Just watching the videos means a lot because it helps add to our total watch hour for YouTube. So, but thank you. If you have any patterns, saltwater patterns you'd like to see tied, let me know. You can always say in the video. And this goes for anyone, Southern Fly Guy, Anthony, all you folks on YouTube. In the link in the description, we have our Discord. So if you happen to be a gamer, use Discord. Being that I've streamed on Twitch for years, we had a Discord. So, and it's all fly fishing orientated. Everybody is big into fly tying and fly fishing. So feel free to hop on in there and check it out. If you have any questions about fly tying or fly fishing or getting gear, or you just want to share some photos of some fish or flies you've tied, anybody, you can feel free to join it. We always have that in the description of the live streams on YouTube now. So, all right, let's cut some more bucktail. I know not everybody uses Discord, but a lot of folks do nowadays, and that's the kind of main thing on Twitch, is having a Discord for your community. So we've had our LI Flies Discord for a while. Pretty good amount of people in there. But thank you again for watching. Appreciate it, man. We're actually going to be doing a fishing stream on Twitch later. In the future, I'm trying to upgrade my equipment so I can stream to both YouTube and Twitch when we go fishing. But right now, I don't have that equipment, so need to get an IRL backpack set up. So if you want to check out the live fishing, you gotta check out Twitch. But we're doing a bunch of fly tying streams and stuff, so we're streaming on YouTube as well now. So I've been enjoying it so far. So I'll wrap this down here. Trying to get this fly tied somewhat quickly because I need to go, I'm dog sitting today. I need to go let her out and feed her. And then we're going to go suit up and go down to the creek over here and try and catch striped bass tonight. I think it's supposed to rain around 7. Right now it's about 3:18, so I need to, we're going to go fish the incoming tide. High tide's around 7. So I'm going to try and do like 3 hours of fishing before the rain starts from like 4 to 7. But we have not been having a good luck recently. Yes. What sort of fly fishing are you trying to do, Anthony? Are you doing saltwater? Are you freshwater fly fishing? The main thing is go out and practice fly casting on the water. If you could totally learn how to fly cast and practice on your lawn, but once you physically go out on the water, you're going to be dealing with trees and like conditions. I don't know if you're fishing a river or you're fishing saltwater, right? If you're fishing saltwater, you're going to be dealing with wind, right? And trying to reach. You'll find a lot of times you don't need to cast very far to catch fish in saltwater or freshwater. But getting out there and practicing your casting in real life conditions is going to be one of the most important things. Because a lot of people will practice fly casting on their lawn, get very comfortable with that, and then when they go to the surf or they go to a lake or something and it's windy, you're going to have a tough time. I'm both, but you want a river fish? Okay. Yeah. Are we talking like trout fishing? Are we talking like smallmouth, pike? The main thing is learn how to double haul. All right. Learn how to, with your lines, as you cast it, it's all about timing, and there's a loop. So as long as you get that loop, you let it extend, and then you go to your next cast and whatnot. It's all about motion and timing. Once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. But it may take a little while. Don't get frustrated. But there's some very good information out there, videos and stuff, but it's really just about getting comfortable with it. Other than that, really, fishing is the same way that you would normally fish. You know where fish are, more than likely, if you fished before. You know structure, things like this, right? So you're just going to be applying that sort of knowledge with your fly rod. You may not be able to cast as far and this and that, but with a fly rod, you'll be able to fish in a different way than you could with a spinning rod, which will give you an advantage in itself, especially for something like trout. Yeah. So get yourself some woolly buggers. Get yourself some woolly buggers. Go out there, cast those woolly buggers where you think the trout would be, and just give them little strips as you strip them through the current. Oh, yes, that's a great idea, Joe. In fact, if you're in an area where there's trout, you can probably find Trout Unlimited, which is a conservation group for trout. It's kind of like Ducks Unlimited, where you can join and you can perhaps meet up with some people. Maybe they'll give you some advice. Maybe they'll take you fishing as well or something like that. Yeah, well, that's good. $200-300 nowadays gets you a very solid setup in the world of fly fishing. So it's all about having like an actual proper fly line a lot of times, and just a stiff enough rod to actually cast. But a lot of times with trout setups, you don't need like the craziest setups as opposed to like a saltwater. But yeah, that's a great idea. Look for any local fly fishing clubs or chapters where you could possibly go like once a month and go, maybe get some fly casting instructions or like learn how to fly tie and stuff like that. But I think woolly buggers are going to be your best friend, and just go out where you'd normally trout fish. Get that line 20, 30 feet out there and just strip it slightly, Yeah, that's right. I joined, you may need to go with your parents or something like that. I don't know. You'll probably be old enough to have a car at some point in the near future. But when I was 12, 13, 11 years old, my dad used to take me to different fly fishing clubs. There was the Eastern Fly Rodders here in New York, and all those guys would give me free flies, free fly tying instruction and stuff. So a lot of these places love it when there's, younger people that are getting involved in the sport, and they'll do what they can to kind of help you out. The guy from Orvis who taught me how to cast in 1999 when I was 12? Yeah, exactly. So you'd be surprised. A lot of the clubs have like older guys and stuff, you know what I mean? Retired and stuff. What I find, at least, especially with the saltwater clubs. But they're all really, really nice people. And they'll gladly, even take you fishing or teach you how to fly cast, no problem. But you may need to ask your parents or something, obviously. But yeah, my dad used to take me when I was like 10 or 11 the saltwater fly fishing club we were part of. And it was fun. We'd go fishing. We would do fly casting instructions at the start before every session. So I'm trying to go to California to fish in the river. Oh, okay, gotcha. You're in Houston. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fly fishing in Texas. I'm sure you could find some people or some clubs or something like that, you know, or even go to a fly shop. I'm sure there's shops that sell fly fishing stuff that would be glad to like take a little bit of time and maybe give you some help or something like that. If not, then it's probably not the sort of place that you want to go to. If I was running a fly shop and some younger kid came in and was asking me for help, I would definitely help them out. Because most people who care about fly fishing are do whatever they can to help get new people into the sport because we need it. All right. Let's tie another collar on here. I do need to go let this dog out, so maybe what I do is I just put on like one of my YouTube videos and I go run over there, feed the dog, let her out, and then come back. But honestly, I just want to go fishing here, so maybe what we'll do is we'll finish tying this tail and then I'll save it and we'll tie the rest of the beast fly on the next fly tying stream. Because I do need to let this dog out, feed her, and then we're going to go fishing before it rains. Twisting up a beast fly? Hell yeah. Yeah, we were tying a couple slammers, and I'm tying a beast fly for myself because it's been a long time since I've done one of these, Joe. Problem is I'm dog sitting today. I got to go let this dog out, feed her, and then I want to go do some fishing down here at the point on Twitch for a little bit before it rains. So who knows? Maybe we'll fly tie later tonight when I'm done fishing, because I think I'm going to be done before 7 is when the rain's supposed to start. I do need to let the dog out, though, again at 9. So maybe I'll come back from fishing and, like, I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe we'll do some fly tying tomorrow. But I probably have another, if I really want to tie like a jumbo beast fly, which I'm going for, I probably have about another hour's worth of fly tying, if not an hour and a half. Of me just sitting here chit-chatting with you folks and tying these collars. So, yeah, we'll probably put this down and continue it on the next one. Because I need to go let this dog out. I was going to go at 3, but I was like, oh, we'll wait a little bit. So I don't want to wait too long because she needs to be fed and go out. But we are going to be fishing here in a little bit on Twitch. If you want to check that out, I'll post in the Discord when we go live. I'm going to walk down and fish for a little bit before the rain starts up. So whether or not we do some more fly tying tonight, I don't know. We'll see. If not, when I get home tomorrow from running my Savage Worlds game at my buddy's house, we'll continue. We'll pick up on the beast fly. Oh, damn, you got a tornado. That's crazy. All right, no worry, Anthony. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words, too. All right, let's whip finish this right here. Hit it with a little super glue. Lock that down. Yeah, we'll continue this later, I think. I'll try and stream later, even if we can just finish this beast fly, because I want to finish it. But we also need to go fishing, so I haven't caught a bass for like a week or two, so I'm getting on like withdrawals right now. And again, I'm not trying to get, you see, I'm trying to keep them pretty opened, and then we're going to hit it with water and it'll taper down these beast flies. Let me just wrap this up so it's tight. All right. All right, chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you folks have an awesome day. We are going fishing soon, all right? So Stay tuned in the Discord. I'll post when we go live. We're going to go fish for some striped bass here in a little bit on Twitch. And then I think later tonight we may try and do another fly tying stream, even if just for 2 hours or so, and finish tying this beast fly. All right? But thank you so much. I appreciate it. If I don't see you, I hope you folks have an awesome day, if not an awesome weekend. But we will be streaming later today, fishing, maybe some more fly tying, and tomorrow we're definitely going to be fly tying. So, but thank you so much, chat. Appreciate it. Everybody on YouTube and everybody on Twitch. I hope you folks have an awesome day, and thank you so much. So I'll see you guys. I'll post later when we go live, all right? Hey, thank you, Southern Fly Guy. Appreciate it. Joe, you have an awesome day. Rev, thanks again, dude. Craggerroll, Doc, everybody, thank you so much. I'll see you guys.